All right, here we are live on Cashflow Canucks. It's May the 18th, and I have Travis Edwards with us. Travis is the founder and CEO of House of Sweat, and today he's going to talk to us about all he does to, I think we talked about this in the pre, is you don't have wealth without health, and he focuses on people's health. And we're going to talk about how he transformed his business over the course of this pandemic. Travis, welcome.
Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much for having me. It has been a interesting, almost a year and a half now of this pandemic and all the changes. I'm sure many people. I feel sorry for a lot of the businesses that have had to gone out of business because of the pandemic, and people that have lost drastic, income during this time, especially for all those business owners out there. But we're still alive and we're still kicking. It's been challenging, I would say. To give you guys a background on what we do, first of all, for those of you that don't know, House of Sweat is an in-home personal personal training company in the GTA. So we go to clients' homes and condos and train them on the comfort of their home and their condos. But as many of you are aware that, the pandemic does not allow that to happen. So we can't as much, and we have people calling us right now, like literally saying, "Can you come to our home?" And I'm like, "No, we cannot. Like, we can't do it." Like, even though we want to serve you, obviously there are restrictions that are banning us from doing this. But when this pandemic hit, which was last March, I wasn't taking this thing serious. I really was not taking it seriously in March. As a matter of fact, I had met up with friends like late February or March, and I was saying to myself, I don't think this is going to be serious. And then it really hit, and I was freaking out. I can't lie, I was freaking out. I'm smiling now, but last year I was not smiling like this. It was major panic because, number one, we had clients signing up, and they were like, they're like, "Well, we just signed up, but we can't do any in-home personal training, so give us back our money." And then we had clients that were like, "We don't want to do virtual. We don't want to do virtual." So I'm sitting here and I'm saying, "Okay, your gyms are closing," and I'm saying to myself, "We are in absolute trouble." So that's kind of how we were. That's how we initially started out, actually, for last year. That's what I would say, Peter.
Yeah, and so if you had stayed as is, you probably wouldn't have a business today, I assume, right?
No, we're in major. Honestly, for me, I have never experienced anything like that. We're in major trouble, and so I had put all my eggs into this business, right? And so if this business is does not work, I'm in trouble. Like, I had a mortgage, family to support, all this stuff, and I was like, everything's riding on this business. So what we had to do is we had to go virtual. We had to go virtual. It did for me. I know that's not what the service was, but it just made sense to go virtual. And initially, a lot of clients did not buy in, so we had a drastic slash in income, literally. And some trainers also left the team as well. So I was sitting there trying to figure out, how do I reinvent this business? So we went back to our software. We had a software from 2014 that we were utilizing, but we weren't showcasing it as much. And which is basically, it's a 3D animated software. Peter, I'm pretty sure you're aware of it because I know you're doing some training work with us now. And it allows us to provide customized programs to clients online. So we started using that. And then one of the things that I really just got this idea, I think it was like late March, early May, I decided to run 30-day fitness challenges. And so what that is basically, we have a bunch of people come in. So I was trying to get lifeblood into the business. I needed clients. I needed people exposure. So what I had to do is I said, let me create this 30-day challenge. I started it for free. I got 30, 40 people into a challenge. They got a test run of how the training program works. They did it from the comfort of their home with no trainer, just a software program. And then from there, I started picking up clients from there. And then slowly, all of our clients that were not doing training started coming in and doing virtual training, because they realized that, gyms are not going to open, or if they do open up, they're going to only be open for like an hour, or you have a segment. It's just getting annoying. So we did some boot camps. We did a whole bunch of things that we had never done in years to kind of just survive it, like a guerrilla marketing style type of thing, which was, at the time scary, but I'll do it again. I would do it again.
Yeah, and so I guess how has that worked out for you in terms of what you've ended up with? You were forced to adapt. You were either forced to literally close the doors or adapt. And
Mhm.
how has that impacted your business, and maybe how you rethought your business? And
I've completely rethought the business. I mean, my initial approach was to go in by province and grow the business that way, and have like a leader, like someone like myself in each province, growing the business and expanding it across Canada. But now, with the ability of going online, I could go across the world and 10 times faster. It's just much easier for me to scale the business. And so I think, if one, now we do a lot of our consultations virtual, I won't change that. And we have the options now of basically deciding if we're going to do virtual or in person, because our price points would be completely different. I just speak with a mentor of mine. He said, it's Travis, it's obvious. You should be charging what you charge for in person for virtual, because you said your services are too low. You should do that for virtual, and then up your services for in person, and then have them choose. And so for me, it made all of our clients become virtual. And for those that do want it in person, the price would go up. Right. So the way I look at the business right now, I do see the future of fitness being a lot of it virtual. I look at it. I look at the likes of like Peloton, Mirror, a bunch of these companies right now. All I see is a equipment based, like equipment based model, subscription model, right? So you get a bike or you get a treadmill. You're going to get a service of someone virtually. You're going to pay monthly for that. And so that's where I see where the industry is going. So we're looking at the different things of virtual. We're looking at fitness clothing that can read metrics, things like that. So I foresee the business going virtual, and I'm going to be treating it that way going forward.
I think there'll always be there will be people who will want to have that direct interaction, but yeah, I think everybody at one way or another, they've learned to be virtual, right? And
Yeah.
getting all that time back from commute and all that, dealing with traffic and whatever is you brought them back. How do you maybe we can go into like you talked about how you're adapting to it. How did you even get into this in the first place?
Oh, you want to go back to the real story?
Yeah. How did you start it?
So I got out of school in 2009. I went to Rice University for electrical engineering. I got it in 2009, and I pretty much was just like after school, like after the engineering program, which was extremely hard for me. I was just sitting down watching TV at home. Literally, not TV, movies. I pulled up like one of those single chairs to a computer, like up to a computer desk. Had my feet up on the computer desk, and I was watching like Saw and these movies all day long. I think mom was just pissing my mom off or something. But June of 2019, 2009, she bought me a gym membership. And that's kind of how the journey into the gym started. I had dabbled into fitness a little bit, in training, but not really fully into it. But when she bought the gym membership, I started getting into the gym, started going on the apps. My confidence started growing as I started training and get bigger. Because when I was younger, it was like a twig, and I got into university, got bigger. And then once I got to the gym, I started shaping my body. I'm like, yeah, I'm excited now. So it's like I found a passion of mine indirectly. And here's the funny thing: I end up working in the engineering field for a couple of years, but I found that my passion wasn't really engineering; it was actually fitness. And the reason for it is my mom actually getting me a gym membership, and like that's how it got started. And then started working at the gyms. And what I started thinking was, now I have all these clients, but I really hate the fact that I'm trading time for money. Like there's only so much time in the day, and I'm training all these clients, and I'm tired all the time, and I didn't want that for myself. So I said, okay, well, I don't want to do that. So what's my next step? So I went in and worked for a boot camp company. And the boot camp company, so what I said was like, I can train many more people, make more money, and have less time. But then I got good at that. So they started giving me more classes, and I was like, I don't want that either. So I was like, I don't want this. So my thing was, how can I train many people but not physically be there? That was my problem to solve. So in 2014, so about 5 years after school, I said, I want to look into software. I want to look into ways of training people without having to physically be there. And I came up with the idea of this software and to train people virtually. And at first, it didn't pan out. 2014, 2015, 2016, I made $0 in my business. I started the business and I was like, so where are the customers? I was looking, I guess I had the approach of waiting for the clients to come to me. I didn't realize I have to go and hunt for them initially, or at least market for them. And I didn't have that idea at all. And I think anybody that's getting into business needs to know that marketing is very, very critical, or at least referrals. You need some type of referral system happening. And then, we built up. I quit the business for like 2 years because I just didn't make any money. And then in 2017, the funny thing is I had worked in the engineering field for a couple of years now. I got let go from my corporate engineering sales job. And I decided right there and then, I had taken a course right before, a personal development course right before getting let go from that job. And I decided that I was going to run the business full time, and I revamped it. So I revamped it from the company was called Your Fit Body Now at the time. I changed it to House of Sweat with a marketing team, and we launched with in-home training as opposed to virtual. And we started doing the software with the in-home, and then the pandemic hits. We go 2-3 years ahead now. The pandemic hits, and I'm like, oh shit! Now we can actually utilize the software. It's just kind of so funny how everything worked out. I'm like getting chills as I think about it right now. But it's so funny how everything that I thought wasn't working out in my favor was just kind of slowly coming together. And so we're integrating both. And hopefully when this pandemic is over, we can get back to in person, but we do have the virtual going right now. So that's what's happening.
Yeah, that's good. And it's so funny that all these things happen. You don't realize at the time why these things are happening. You're like, man, you think it really sucks, right? And one of the things I wish if I could turn back the clock is either one of two things: either I quit my job earlier or I got fired earlier, because it would have accelerated everything, right? But you don't
Absolutely.
know at the time, and we're doing things for whatever reason. But maybe this has helped you. Maybe we'll talk about this first. You talked about marketing, importance of marketing, and how are you marketing to get people? You talked about referrals and importance of that. What's your process? What's been your success in finding new clients?
Well, we've kind of scaled down, I would say, in the last year or so, which we probably could kind of be scaling up, but in the sense of spending as much marketing dollars. So in 2019 into actually late 2018 into 2019 and early parts of 2020, we were investing a lot into Facebook ads because we realized, number one, I just started studying what my competition did. For anybody that's getting into any industry, whether it's fitness or finance, whatever you choose, you want to study your competition first. What is it? How are they marketing? What are they doing? How are they on top of Google? So I started studying my competition, and I found out a lot of them were doing Google ads, which is great because it's, you get on the top page, the more people that see you on the top page, the more clicks, possibly customers. For me, I found that to be a little pricey for marketing. So my next thing was I have Facebook. I have a profile of Facebook people, and you can target different areas: Brampton, Mississauga, Oakville, whatever. And so I found a marketing team, and we dumped a whole bunch of money. I think it was anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 a month, where we were pumping. I had a video of myself talking about in-home personal training, and we got a lot of leads that way. We get 100 leads a week. And from there, I would call them. We would schedule consultations, and then they come on as customers, our clients. So I'll say clients, and then we go from there. And then we look we build from there, or we get referrals. Nowadays, what we're doing is we have an outside of the box strategy type of thing. So we've been doing things like masterclasses. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been on my LinkedIn. I've been dropping masterclasses, or I'm using a lot of Instagram right now. So I'll put in some videos on Instagram, and those alone are generating leads for me. And most importantly, right now, I think a lot of the lessons I've learned over the last years, I have always been hunting for more customers, hunting for more customers. But I also realized that the ones that you have existingly are very important. Actually, because initially there's a certain amount of dollars that go into marketing, and you get a client, but that client is really just paying off some of the marketing costs that you have from before. So for me, I want to retain clients for longer now. I don't want to, have a client come in for 3 months and leave. So I'll look at how can we help retain our clients better. And then from there, once we do our job, we help them get results. Naturally, they're going to refer us to other family and friends. And that's how we've been building. So it's a lot of just organic right now. We have our YouTube SEO, we have website SEO, like search engine optimization, which is also generating leads for us. And more than anything else, we're also delivering value to the world. So either we're doing Facebook Live, Instagram Lives, or we're also sending out, we have over, I think, 500 subscribers or something on our newsletter. So we'll send out information for free, continue to build up that way. And people ask questions. They ask questions and then they turn into leads. And then eventually, they actually turn out to, to work with us.
Right. And so now you're scaling the business. You've got, the software platform in place, you're building marketing. How is it building the team? How important is that to taking that next step in your business?
Well, I mean, we have a team of 4 trainers already. We're just slow, as I said, we're taking this very methodical approach right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic, so we kind of take it as it comes along. It's a matter of just stacking every single trainer, right? So making sure they have enough clients before we add on trainers to the team. There's no point bringing on trainers onto the team where they're not going to have any clients. I know that other people in the in-home personal training space kind of grow their business that way, right? Like the more trainers they have on the team, the more that the territory person, like for example, a person that runs Ontario would actually get paid, which I didn't want to do as a model. So I am just being very methodical about how I grow the team, and I'm also looking for a particular type of trainer. All the trainers on our team are specialists. They understand the body very, very well. They know how to, Peter, as you know, like you're working with Yan, they understand things about the body, the joints, right? And it's important to have good quality trainers, not just any trainer on the team. And House of Sweat, we're all about a process, and we want to make sure that when someone starts with us, that they, number one, they're not intimidated, because the thing of a trainer is like it's boot camp time. We're gonna scream at you and we're gonna go crazy on you. We don't want. We're gonna slowly do that as well.
Nice. And some of the things I like too, even just having started the process myself, is just it is nice and slow. It's very methodical and very. I think you and I had talked about this before. Is just about really making connection from the mind to the body too, in terms of a lot of things. Maybe we can get into this. Is like, what are common things you see that that all these people working from home need to work on, like from a physical level? What are there common things that you're seeing that are creeping up over the course of the last year, even now that more people are moving mobile?
I mean, part of the reason I'm standing up right now, because as a trainer, we're always standing up training clients, but due to the pandemic, we've been doing a lot of virtual training, right? And so I've been doing a lot of sitting, and as effect, I'm training and sitting a lot more, and that's causing a lot of lower back pain for me. But which is a case that I'm seeing with the everyday person, a lot of lower back pain, a lot of tightness in the hamstrings, weak glute muscles. So people are experiencing knee pain. They're in positions that the body likes to actually move, and they're in positions that are just not favorable to the body. So I'll hear commonly knee, right, and back. Those are the two I usually hear. Maybe some trap tightness, neck tightness, that type of stuff. But knee and back for sure is what I'm seeing. And so we are addressing those things. I mean, it's always, when it comes to your back, it could be it might not even be the back itself, right? It could be your hamstrings that are tight, or muscles that are like, that have built lactate over time, or are tied up together really tightly and need to be lengthened out. It could be your psoas, right? That one that runs in your stomach, your hip flexors, right? So like, there's so many different things when it comes to the back or knees. When you look at your knee, unless you had a knee specific, like an actual injury to the knee, which in most cases, some people don't, it could be your ankles, your hip that's causing dysfunction to your knee. So we are seeing a lot of those things. And our approach is, we don't want to put someone into boot camp style training right away, because that can be detrimental to them. We can make it worse. So we want to address the issue at hand first by looking at, if it's back, was it weak glutes or something like that that's causing the problem, and then we will address that, make sure the person is pain-free or as close to pain-free as possible, and then progress with the training.
That's great. Yeah, and that really kind of brings full circle. We talked at the beginning is really you can't have wealth without health, and that's just becoming way more and more apparent. And I don't want to like say it, even just eating habits too, right? I was in the grocery store and I literally have, it's funny, I have a friend who's in Switzerland,
Yeah.
and he's like, we don't have any chips here. And I'll go through the Loblaws and I'll take a video, and it's like, go down the aisle and it takes 30 seconds to go through the whole aisle. There's like literally hundreds, if not thousands of bags of chips,
Really?
and then displays everywhere. I'm like, like it's hard. I guess the eating is part of it too, right? It is obviously a huge part of it. It's the physical, but it's also what we ingest as well.
Oh, 100%. I'm just shocked what your friend said about they don't have any chips there. I was like,
He's like, they don't have any good chips. Yeah.
It's crazy. North America is a little different, man. As you can see, it's mass marketing with how they hit you subconsciously. As you said, you're going through the aisles and you're seeing everything. I mean, they know how to get us, man. I mean, they've been doing it from when we were little kids, right? Lucky Charms, all that stuff. But yeah, eating is very, very important. I mean, I think there's 4 factors, and I think I mentioned this to you when we had a consultation. Anyways, you want to look at obviously exercise, right? Which is what we're talking about here. We're talking about the nutrition, sleep, and then hormones, right? And so if any one of those 4 out of whack, then you're gonna have difficulty, right? So let's just say you have the other 3 in check and your diet is off par too, and you tend to eating a lot more fatty foods or things that are not going to be conducive to your success. Obviously, you're going to have a hard time. Like, I mean, you have to. Everybody's a little different. I find that for me, I'm more of an athlete, so I eat according to that style. It's not very strict, so I would need a little bit more carbs for the running and stuff that I'm doing, a adequate amount of protein and a good amount of fats, right? But I'm not going to go into the specific macros. It's not necessary. I think that if you're a person that we're like looking to lose weight, it's very simple. Try your best. This is the hardest part, is to try your best to limit things that are not good for you. If it's chips, it's cookies, right? I had 3 Oreos before coming on the call today. I'm not going to kill myself over 3 Oreos. Like, this is ridiculous. If I want the Oreos, I'm going to have the Oreos. But it's a discretion to it. A lot of people, it's the all or nothing mentality. Like, I'll eat all the Oreos today. I'll eat all the Doritos today. And if you can just have a little bit here and there and maintain a good diet, which is for most person, if they're starting out their day and they need help, reach out to me. But stick to like 1 complex carb per day, 1 to 2 complex carbs a day, whether that's oatmeal or brown rice, sweet potatoes, one of those groups, and then have vegetables and fruits throughout the entire day. Pairing, I would say, if you're a person that can tolerate fruits, eating it during your most active hours, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., somewhere in that gap. Cut it out after. Cut the sweets out at nighttime, where people kind of chill out and relaxing and watching TV. You'll have success. Like, it's just, and then the weekend is where the challenge is, right? As hopefully, this is not too bad of a family show, but like the shit show happens on the weekend for most people. It's usually, Monday through Friday, they have no problem because, they're working, they have a regimen, they have that going. But on the weekend is when you sleep longer, or maybe your kids get up earlier. Like, it just throws you off. So you're just completely off. You eat completely different on the weekend as opposed to how you eat on Monday through Friday. So I always say, if you can get 6 days out of the week right and 1 day off, you'll be fine with that. So just try to maintain for 6 days, eat decently or consciously. I know as the weather gets hot here in Toronto, it's going to be a little tricky, but just do your best. And don't get on yourself for having a bad day. It happens all the time. Like, I think a lot of people get onto themselves and they just get into mindset and just take the process as a slow process. It's not like, this is not a race. I used to think, to lose 10, 15 pounds, it's a race to do this. Who's watching you? Who cares? Like, at the end of the day, it's you against you, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to anybody else. So take your time in this process, and the slower you go, it's going to be easier for you to maintain that weight loss, as opposed to if you go super fast, you had no idea what you did in the first place. All that weight that you've lost on these crash diets is going to allow you to put back on the weight anyways, and very fast, actually, even sometimes even more. So,
Yeah, no, that's good. I think that's a really good point. What are you in it for? Who are you doing it for? Why are you doing it? And is not a competition. It's, it's about you yourself and maybe who you're doing it for, your why. So how about your business now? Where do you see it going in the next, 18, 24 months? What's next for you?
We're going to continue doing what we're doing right now. Continue to expand, doing our virtual personal training. We're actually on challenge number 14, which is we've done 14 challenges. So that's at least almost equivalent to this time that we've been during the pandemic. So we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We're getting an increase of virtual training. We would love to, if the market allows us to, and they, because there's a lot of classes out here. If we can do live classes for companies, that's what we're doing. We actually had, I cannot talk about that deal. I gotta leave that off deal. But we almost landed a deal with a major company to do some virtual training. So we're reaching out to companies now to do a lot of virtual training. We've done several throughout the year. So we're going to be doing a lot of virtual training for companies. And then we're working on technology through clothing to track metrics, whether it's heart rate, sleep, actual how the muscles are working through clothing. So everyday clothing. So that's where we're going. We're going to be developing on that technology over the next, it's going to take some time, but we'll be working on that over the next bit and see where the market takes us. It's like business is just kind of wild in the sense like you can't really, you think it's going one way, but it might go a little differently. So it's just like we kind of go with the flow with this thing.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a really good, goal ahead of you, and it may, as much as it may sway here or there, you're ready to adapt, especially having what you've done in the last year. Mm-hmm. Now, how can folks get in touch with you?
You can reach out. You can find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, or go to our website. Website is www.houseofsweat.ca, or they can reach out to us at info@houseofsweat.ca. And any questions you have in regards to health and fitness, reach out.
Yeah, well, that's great, Travis. Thank you for sharing your story and how you adapted and how you're helping so many people that, just everybody. I think maybe we talked about this. I've said it maybe too many times, but maybe don't say it enough, is like focus on your health. If you don't have health, you can't have wealth. And, Cashflow Canucks, I'm talking about, with Canadians in terms of building wealth, but it's always important to hear these stories as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, health is wealth indeed. Absolutely.